Policing in the 21st century has come full circle.
Good evening, all.
The old romantic notion of the Bobby on the beat, like Sergeant George Dixon 50 years ago, is very much back in favour.
See ya.
A new caring force has been created that works in collaboration with the community it serves, called the Neighbourhood Policing Team.
You're under arrest, OK, for assault.
Now the teams are in every local area of the country.
Get him! We've got a runner.
Cracking down on antisocial behaviour.
Stay here! Ow! I've had enough!
Busting suspected drug dens.
There's a very, very large grow in this room. Jackpot.
And laying down the law to crooks and criminals.
Who's your toe? I want him.
In this new series of Neighbourhood Blues, we're following the men and women from the Humberside Police Force.
You're under arrest.
I'm arresting you for being in possession of controlled substance.
As they strive to make our streets a safer place. Coming up.
I've got him if you want to pat him down.
Yeah, you got that one?
Yeah.
The Neighbourhood team catch a suspected phone thief.
What you got my arms up there for?
I don't know what else you've got on you, do you?
Let's let go because he's hurting.
Crack down on the growing problem of new media being used to cause harassment.
So do you understand what I've said to your dad then?
Yeah.
It needs to stop.
Yeah.
All right.
And join forces with fire and rescue services to save a couple's lives.
All right, don't worry.
Beating burglars is one of the main priorities for Humberside Police's neighbourhood teams. They recently launched an intensive crackdown, which last year saw burglaries cut by 12%. But as a result of their focus on house crime, it appears thieves are turning their attention to easier, unoccupied targets.
It's 9 o'clock in the evening, and Sergeant Carl Sweeting is responding to an incident at a remote property just north of Bridlington in East Yorkshire.
Whiskey 20, I've got the van, I'll make my way up there. It's been a burglary and it would appear the car trying to make off collided with another vehicle.
It appears the burglar's car has crashed while trying to get away.
Skelly's up there at the minute with another local patrol. I think he's just talking to him at the minute. They've got an injured child.
The crash has taken place on a quiet country lane near a local beauty spot.
It's been a head-on. The front of the car's totaled near. The little kid's gone into the back of the seat.
Is he all right?
It's a little girl.
Oh, what go ahead. Do you hurt anywhere? Just don't nod your head for me. Just keep nice and still. Where do you hurt? Your nose. Anywhere else?
Fortunately, she was wearing a seatbelt, or her injuries could have been far worse. Shockingly, she was a passenger in the getaway car, which was hit fleeing the scene of the burglary.
There's a shop around the corner, confectionery shop, which has been entered. The vehicle used to get away is this one here, that's all stoved in. The son of the owner has come the other way and there's been a head-on collision. So although we have got offences, primarily we're just sorting people out for injuries. Now obviously our main concern at the minute is this little girl who's 9 years old has been involved in the head-on collision, quite a hefty impact as well.
The girl's 12-year-old brother was also in the car, with their father at the wheel.
Who's in the back of that police car there, and his son and his daughter have been travelling in this car here. His son, I believe, have broken into a kiosk around the corner. They've tried to make good their escape in this vehicle. An alarm's gone off and the son of the owner of the shop has come round this straight here and there's been a road traffic collision. Then reversed back down here. We've been called and we're just trying to pick up the pieces of what's gone on.
Carl now heads to the kiosk to talk to its owner. Having been burgled before, he'd installed an alarm system and CCTV. which captured the whole incident on camera.
And he walked across with the lad to give that door a good kicking, as you can see. He did.
They first tried to gain entry by kicking the door in, but to no avail.
Came back again, wearing gloves, all hooded up and that. And then they opened it up.
Next, they force open the kiosk's shutters, and with security bars on the window, the father sends his son in to try and open the door from the inside. But the boy can't get the door open, so his father also makes his way in through the window and over the security bars. The owner has already been alerted by the alarm and arrives less than 5 minutes after the burglars gained entry. Realising there was someone inside, he grabs a torch from his van to help him see what was going on. As soon as the burglars spot the light, they make their escape, forcing their way out of the window and past the owner before legging it to their car.
Say it's this old guy, he's been there a few years trying to run his own business, and somebody comes and thinks they can just take it away like that. And it causes upset, obviously, to him, damage to his property that he's got to repair. And, you know, he's obviously always concerned that with it being so isolated here, being a beauty spot, that people are going to come down and burgle it. So
the burglar's 9-year-old daughter was injured in the crash. An ambulance has arrived to take her to Scarborough Hospital. She isn't the only casualty though. Her father has just told officers that he is also in pain.
He's complaining of some neck and back pain at the minute, which it wasn't doing to start with, just developed it. Ambulance are just going to extract him from our vehicle. Luckily from our side, they don't have to take the roof off either.
Meanwhile, Carl and the kiosk owner assess the aftermath of the break-in. The burglars have caused several £100 worth of damage getting in, all for the sake of a few bars of chocolate.
I don't get too emotional about it. If it was breaking into my house, it would be a different thing. Down here, it just seems to be a war of between the people who just want to break in and pinch a Mars bar or a chocolate bar. That's about all they get. There's nothing of any value, but it's damage that they do.
Mark's made a discovery in one of the bins near the kiosk. It looks like a smashed up fruit machine. CCTV captured the pair dumping it in the bin before carrying out the break-in.
yeah, we believe this is from a burglary to a licensed premises in Bridlington town overnight last night, where they've broken in and stolen the fruit machine from there.
I'll do the honours then.
Back at the crash scene, Mark is arresting the father and his 12-year-old son.
At this moment in time, you're both locked up on suspicion of burglary.
So it's all come together quite nicely. There's a lot more digging to do, a lot more work to go on it. Hopefully the end result will be a charge for both of these for at least one burglary, if not two.
It's not every day 12-year-olds get arrested, but sadly, it's not even the first time this lad's been in trouble.
He's already on our radar. Unfortunately, he's not been helped by the upbringing he's had, but he's obviously led by his father quite a lot by the looks of it.
I'm amazed somebody's come out and done a burglary with a child in a vehicle. I think anybody in their right mind would be shocked by it. I mean, people get involved in drugs and get desperate and do burglaries and things like that, but to take your children along with you, gobsmacked really, it's just disgusting. And I hope they take it into account when he goes to court.
The modern-day Fagin and his son are taken to hospital for a checkup, while his car is seized for evidence. Later, having been given the all-clear, father and son are now facing the music at Bridlington Police Station.
That makes you 12, is it? Okay. And your patient?
It's a shame for him, isn't it? You know, there he is, 12 years old, hardly tall enough to see over the custody bar, and yet here he is in custody. Don't get me wrong, if he's committed an offence, then he needs to be dealt with and interviewed, but with a role model like that, when asked what his occupation is, he introduces himself as a burglar. You question what opportunities he'll have put before him in life.
The father later pleaded guilty to burglary and possession of stolen property. He's currently awaiting his day in court. His son was given a youth rehabilitation order and supervision requirement for 6 months. Sharing information and addressing people's concerns about crime are vital for community policing to work. Now, Humberside Police, with the username @Humberbeat, have started using the social networking site Twitter to keep the public updated about what they're doing and whom they've arrested. It's Bank Holiday Monday, and while his colleague PC Andy Derbyshire drives the car, Special Constable Andy Pashley is tweeting on his phone.
I've just sent my first tweet.
Good lad.
Yeah, I've put patrolling of the Northern NPC area, glorious day, lots of barbecues and families enjoying the sun. Everything's in order. Hashtag Special Constable 682. Hashtag sun. Humberside Police have a Twitter account. Officers have access to this account, and we like to tweet general day-to-day of our patrols, etc. Let the public of Hull know what we're getting up to and obviously what's happening in their areas.
It's all part of an effort to improve the team's relationship with the public, which in turn they hope will lead to increased crime detection.
Social media and the police can be used quite effectively. We've had a couple of occasions where we've had missing persons, where details have been put out on Facebook by friends and family, and who knows, it might lead to that person being found.
An urgent call's just come in.
What's that, coming in for assault?
All of them.
It's time to do some old-fashioned policing. They've been called to back up their colleagues who've stopped 3 youths suspected of launching an attack on a man at a party before stealing his phone.
I've got him if you want to pat him down.
Yeah, you got that one?
Yeah. What's your name, young man? All right, know where you've been stopped?
The trio have been accused of assault and theft of the phone, but this chap's saying it's the other way around.
I've just been kicked in the head by someone
for
no reason.
Okay, we'll get to that in a minute. Just bear with us. Good lad.
He's come quietly, unlike one of the others.
I didn't say with intent, did I?
Yeah, you best not be as well, Muppet.
Wake up, you're the Muppet.
What do you think
No.
you are?
No.
What are you doing?
You don't need to be like that, do you?
What was that for? That was a bit out of order, wasn't it? That was out of order, wasn't it? That's bang out of order. Now, what? Shut up.
You will.
That's bang out of order. What are you doing?
Because I don't know what else you've got on you.
I ain't got nothing else on me. Search me. Search me, you Muppet. Search me. Rat.
The lad's claims of innocence don't seem to have much basis, as a search of his pockets has found what looks to be the stolen phone and some cannabis.
You got anything else on you?
No, I haven't. What you got my arms up there for?
I don't know what else you've got on you,
Well, you best let go, because it's hurting.
Well, calm down then.
Well, let go then, you Muppet.
Calm down then.
No, I won't let go. No, I won't calm down. Let go. What is this all about? For no reason at all.
You get locked up for log robbery, aren't you? Drugs and everything.
Drugs?
What do you think I'm doing that for?
What do you mean drugs?
Jump inside. There, sit down. Nice.
As the noise dies down following the mouthy youth's departure, Andy deals with his detainee, who's still claiming he's been hit.
Right, what's happening is at the moment, you've been locked up under suspicion of assault and robbery.
What's on my face, mate?
Well, something we can sort out once we've sorted out this one, all right? Well, if you've done nothing wrong, then you'll be released with my apologies. But at the end of the day, I haven't locked you up. All I'm doing is transporting you.
I know you're transporting.
All right, yeah. So I ain't got a clue really what's...
All right then, mate.
The victim side of the story will make things a lot clearer, as we'll see later.
Theft from shops costs retailers nearly £2 billion a year in the UK. But it's not just the stores that bear the brunt of the losses. It's reckoned shoplifting costs us all an extra £180 a year on our shopping bills.
It's Saturday afternoon, and Sergeant Caroline Andrews and PC Nick Deacon are on their way to a supermarket in the north of Hull.
At the moment, we've had reports of a 15-year-old female that's been detained after a shop theft of £45 worth of items. So we're just going to go down and see what's going on.
Some shoplifting is carried out by organised gangs, but mostly it's petty criminals stealing small items, and it's the neighbourhood teams that have to deal with them on a daily basis.
I don't think shoplifters get enough punishment because they keep coming back and thieving more.
All that's doing is just putting the shop prices up, so it spirals everywhere. It affects us all, you know.
Caroline and Nick have made their way to a room at the back of the supermarket where the shoplifting suspect is being held.
We've got a little one as well.
The girl has got her younger sister with her.
How old are you, young lady?
15.
She's been caught on camera stealing things.
Yeah, I wanted to do so on CCTV. She knew she was doing it. And
she knew she was doing it. How old are you?
Apparently.
Yeah, I think you're a little bit little to be doing anything with, so...
Yeah, and the total comes to £45.98.
The neighbourhood team take a hard line against shoplifters, no matter what their age.
Sister, your sisters?
Yeah.
Yes.
She's been crying, but she's shown no remorse whatsoever.
Okay. How often have you done it before?
Never.
What, never? What made you do it today, then? I don't know.
Is there going to be somebody at home? Who's that? Who's going to be at home?
If there isn't somebody at home and
Your
I can't
dad?
get you to a proper
Mum and dad?
adult, you'll go in a cell. So I suggest you change your attitude and start thinking what you've done is serious, and you could be put in a cell for the rest of the day. Do you understand that?
Yeah.
Right, well, show us if you're bothered. Sit up.
Because of their ages, Caroline and Nick have decided to take the girls home and have a word with their parents rather than take them into custody.
We won't be thanked for taking a 15-year-old into custody who has never been in trouble with the police before. She's never come to our notice for anything whatsoever. So I think at the end of the day, the best policy is we'll take her home, we'll speak to her in front of her parents, we'll invite her in for interview at a later date, unless she doesn't change her attitude, in which case she might go in a police cell because she really doesn't seem to be bothered at the moment.
Even being in the back of a police car doesn't appear to have changed the older girl's attitude.
She's 11 years old, of course she's upset. And that's through your doing. So don't be telling her she doesn't need to be upset. It's you who needs to change your behaviour.
She's not in trouble, is she?
Well, at the end of the day, I'm sure her parents aren't going to be happy with either of you, are they? So a little bit of sympathy towards your sister won't go amiss.
The girls are about to be shamed in front of their mother, a tactic Caroline and Nick hope will have an effect on the 15-year-old.
Hello, my love.
I've got two things that belong to you. Are we alright to come in and have a
One
chat?
little one who knew what was going on and one big one that was thieving. Now, I'm not going to be dealing with little one because little one didn't deal with anything there, although she has guilty knowledge. If she was a bit older, she would be in trouble the same as big sister would be. She's got no remorse for what she's done. She doesn't seem to care. Now, if you get into trouble, young lady, between now and getting this sorted, you really are in trouble because it will go to court. Do you understand that? Court can put restrictions on where you go, what you do, and how you behave. And if you don't stick to those, you will keep getting arrested and put in the cells until you learn to behave yourself. Do you understand that? You're in trouble with your parents, live with it.
When you're out and about with your friends, we'll be looking for you, simple as end of, to see what you're up to, see what, you know, because at the minute, in our eyes, putting it nicely, you're a thief in our eyes. So that puts you on our radar. So we'll be paying special attention to you to see what you're up to.
Nick and Caroline hope their strong words will sink in, and this will be the girls' first and only brush with the law.
Okay.
They need telling. They need telling bluntly that what they're doing is wrong. She had a very poor attitude to start with. She was starting to show a bit more remorse once we were in the house. But you've really got to be firm with them. They've got to understand what they've done is wrong, and they're very lucky that they're not sat in a cell for the rest of the afternoon, because that's where, on another day, she would be sat.
The girl was interviewed at the police station 2 days later, along with her mum, and was given a rehabilitation order. neighbourhood officers in Hull have arrested 3 youths who are suspected of attacking a man and stealing his phone. One in particular has been very vocal in protesting his innocence.
What is this all about? For no reason at all.
Back at the station, the mouthy youth appears to have calmed down.
What have you got to seize my clothes for?
Just because of the offence.
But that soon changes. The officers need to take his clothes to use as evidence in identifying him, and he's not too happy about it.
Myself now. Get out myself and close that door. What are you doing? Okay.
No, stop being silly.
I'm not being silly.
You are being silly.
You just
Right,
put
someone or not?
Put
Are you
this
gonna
on.
put someone or not?
Right.
Right.
Yeah, go on.
Are you going to get your
Yeah, go on,
fingerprints
squeeze it a
taken
bit
or not?
harder. Go on,
Are you gonna get your
yeah.
fingerprints taken or
Go on,
not?
squeeze it.
Are you-
Squeeze
Hey,
it.
do you want to admit? Do you want your
Squeeze it.
fingerprints taken or not?
Squeeze it. Squeeze it.
Basically, he just didn't like the fact that we was going in there and seizing his clothing. Just don't like it. They think they're not going to get them back ever, so sometimes if it's a ongoing court case, they might not get their clothes for a while, so we end up looking after them.
As the officers bag up the evidence, the man who's allegedly been set upon has arrived at the station, and he's sporting a few injuries.
We was at a barbecue, then some random people turned up. Then started getting to one of the guys started getting in the face of like one of the girls. Then ended up in like a bit of a scrap. But like he started punching me for like no reason. Like then I lost my phone and they took my phone. And that's it basically in a nutshell.
Even though the police have found his phone, the man won't be able to take it home, as it's also being kept as evidence.
Right, so wrap it in. It's your phone.
One person who still does have his phone is Andy, who's now back on Twitter, letting all his followers know what's been going on.
And obviously I know I'm doing my second tweet with regards to a result that we've just had. I've put on Twitter 3 males in custody, #6882, #IRT and #result. And I've sent that to all the Twitter feeds for Humberside. So obviously members of the public can see it and obviously celebrate our success.
A few minutes later, Andy's message has spread to the higher ranks.
Oh. Our Chief Constable's retweeted my tweet with regards to the 3 males in custody, and so has the special site for the South Bank. It's a good result.
With 3 people in custody and a stolen phone recovered, it's been a good day's work. One of the men later pleaded guilty to assault and was fined £205. The mouthy youth pleaded guilty to theft and cannabis possession and was fined £215. The third youth was released without charge.
While new methods of communication can help the police, they can also cause problems. Harassment via text message or Facebook is now a crime, and one the neighbourhood teams are coming across on an increasingly regular basis.
The 2 Andys are on their way to visit a man who has been accused of sending abusive texts and Facebook messages to his ex-wife and her new partner.
What's your Ryan?
How's it? Hi, got a minute?
Yeah, come in.
Cheers, thanks very much.
The man's son is also involved. He's taken his dad's side and has been sending similar messages to his mum's partner.
Fine, no problem. Do you want to have a quick sit down and we can have a quick chat about it then?
So, you know why we're here?
Been expecting you.
Okay, it's to do with some text messages, Facebook messages, and some phone calls that apparently Susan and her husband Michael. Is it Michael? Yeah, Michael have been receiving from yourselves. Now we understand that there's been a bit of to-ing and fro-ing. You've got messages, they've got messages, they've replied, you've replied, blah blah blah.
The mother and her partner have saved some of the messages which were sent to them by the son.
All you do is give it over, now you bookie, blah blah blah, and it just goes on and on and on. Okay.
If anything's got saying against me, what's they're saying, like, I've threatened him and that, I can go through all my messages there.
Right.
And I can prove to you that I did threaten him.
Somebody somewhere, I don't know if it's yourself or whether it's has actually sent messages back. Have you sent any threatening?
I've sent them. I'll admit that.
You've sent some threatening messages,
they
have
give
you?
it to me, so I'll give it back to them.
Right, okay. So do you understand what I've said to your dad then?
Yeah.
It needs to stop.
Yeah.
All right. Is there some issue regarding Facebook? The bane of my life is Facebook, it really is.
She's blocked me on Facebook
and
now.
Right.
They've got me back.
Okay. Well, what I would suggest is you just delete them and don't...
But they just keep coming back up, because you can message people on Facebook without being friends.
Right. If you get an account come through that you're not happy with, because obviously I think you have to accept it.
Yeah,
don't
you
to
do,
have
just
it.
scrap it.
Just bin it off. If you don't know them or you think,
That's
hang on,
what I've
it's
been doing now.
a bit dodgy this, then just sack it off. Just get rid of it.
So if they don't stop, the topless texters risk being arrested. And the same applies for the other pair involved.
To protect you and also I'm going to recommend the same for Michael and Susan, is I'm going to issue both with an harassment warning.
Yeah.
If it continues, you make a complaint, they're liable to arrest. They make a complaint, you're liable to arrest.
Yeah.
So if they don't stop, the topless texters risk being arrested. And the same applies for the other couple involved.
All right, so are you happy with that?
I am, yeah.
Super duper. Don't communicate with, unless you've got something specific, whether it's something to do with your family or something like that, where you need to get in touch with them, don't have any correspondence whatsoever. All I'll need is signature from you there, please.
No problem.
Sensible policing and good advice look to have led to a positive outcome.
So you understand everything?
I certainly do, yes.
Happy with what we've
Yes,
discussed? Yeah, no problems at all. Thanks. So some people take it good, some people take it bad. On this occasion, they took it quite good. Sometimes once you give the harassment warning, it gives a bit of a heads up to the person to think, well, hang on, yeah, it's gone a bit far this if the police are involved. Sometimes it's, yeah, you're just paying lip service to it and it'll just carry on regardless. They might even just get another person to do it or on an unregistered mobile phone, but once we start getting evidence like that, we can sort of do a bit of digging in. If it does come back to the person who's been issued the warning, then obviously we can deal with it appropriately.
Neighbourhood policing teams aren't just there to fight crime. Because of their high profile and large numbers, they're regularly called in to work alongside their colleagues from the other two emergency services. Mark Skelton's just had a call about a serious incident a few streets away from Bridlington police station.
Report of three persons, well, I think it said 3 persons potentially trapped in a house fire.
On arrival, Mark and the other members of his team are immediately put to work.
Police officer, can you stop the traffic down this road for now, please?
The fire has taken a hold on the first floor, trapping some residents on the top floor.
Fire brigade are just while they're working on the fire. We're just going to put some road closures on. That's just going to go block the road with the van up. So.
Officers are keeping the area around the house clear for the firefighters, even though one of its occupants has returned.
I don't know a lot about it myself because I've only just come back from a cafe around the corner and I haven't even been in the house, you know, apparently there's a fire started. They suspect maybe my room, so...
It's a first floor fire and fire brigade are going in now to try and get the 2 out from the top.
Lads, this window here, so it's that apex. Do it club in here.
2 people are trapped in a top floor flat, and there's too much smoke for them to get out through the house. The only way for the firefighters to rescue them is by putting a ladder up to their window.
Nice and steady, lads, nice and steady.
Inside the smoke and soot-filled house, the firefighters using breathing apparatus are searching room by room for anyone else that may still be trapped inside. The only way out for the couple is down the ladder. It's something the firefighters practice all the time, but rarely do for real. They're around 25 feet up, The slightest slip could be fatal. As the woman makes her way down the ladder, the fire really begins to take hold.
Right, somebody back up there! Guide him down!
And, approaching the ambulance, a window blows out.
Alright, don't worry. Alright.
She's terrified her partner is still trapped. But thankfully, the firefighters have managed to rescue him too.
Yeah, as you can see, there was a lot of panic at the top there. Obviously, quick actions of the neighbour, quick actions and efficient actions of the fire brigade saved 2 persons' life in this situation. It's very rare that we get an incident of this magnitude. Looking at the fire and the way the window blew out through that, very, very lucky indeed.
It's a miraculous outcome to what could so easily have been a disaster.
Well done, you've done ever so well. The 2 casualties that were rescued from the upper floor have both inhaled some smoke. They were very lucky to get out in the time they did due to the efforts of the fire service.
The way the conditions were in there, the smoke was so acrid. A mouthful of that and you certainly have enough.
The couple are rushed to hospital. Although they don't appear to be too seriously injured, they're not taking any chances.
Suffering some smoke inhalation at the minute. Ambulance have said that can change rapidly and patients with that diagnosis can go downhill very quickly.
Now the blaze is under control, thoughts are turning to what caused the fire. The police are cordoning the house off to preserve the scene.
It's coming as a fire of doubtful origin, so we don't know how and why it started. It's going to take a little bit of time to work out if it's accidental or if it's a deliberate arson. Obviously, potentially life-changing consequences.
Fire investigators will have to sift through the remains of the burnt-out building before they can confirm exactly what the cause was, while the neighbourhood team do their best to keep people informed of what's going on.
We've had a word with a few of the local residents just to reassure the community that it's an isolated incident within the premise. And as such it'll be assessed fully in the morning, just to give a bit of community reassurance. But from a neighbourhood perspective, it's job done. The IR will do the scene guard overnight and we'll pick it up in the morning.
The inside has been made safe, and Chris, the occupant of the room where the fire started, has turned up to survey the damage to his home.
It's not nice at all. It's like, emotionally, I don't think I've taken it on board fully yet.
Chris has lost most of his belongings, including one thing which he really held dear.
Me teddy bear. My teddy bear was bigger than me when I first had it, and now it's charcoal. Yeah.
There is some good news though. The couple who were rescued earlier are fine. Fire investigators will return to the house in the morning to hopefully establish the cause of the fire.
Disputes between neighbours have a nasty habit of getting out of hand. Often the best way to resolve them quickly is through a third party, something the neighbourhood team is quite used to doing.
Tonight in central Hull, Nick Deacon and Lucy Giles have been called in to mediate an argument between a young mother and her neighbour who she says threatened her.
They've got a dispute with the neighbours over something, and they are known to us, yes.
Nick has dealt with the feuding families before and knows it's nothing serious. Nick's met by the girl who called in and a friend whose house she's on the way round to.
And Mum said that I've got to go to her house because she don't want me to go home. And my mum will make you a brew.
That sounds like a good idea.
You know?
I know you are too, so don't panic.
The girl, explains the argument concerns her 3-month-old baby.
How it all started was somebody a few weeks ago rang social services on me.
Yeah.
The girl thinks her neighbour has been stirring things up by reporting her for mistreating her baby after she put it in a buggy that caused a bruise.
I only did it once and she ended up getting a little mark on her shoulder.
Yeah.
And obviously she ended up finding out across the road.
She.
Social services came round to my house and they marked it all up and they said that they even think it's from the buggy. Thought it was from that, they believe.
It seems there's little love lost between the girl and her neighbour from across the street.
She turned round, started gobbing it, going, "Oh, if you've got out to effing say it to my face." And I said to her, I've got my baby with me, like my little girl, she's only 3 months old. My little girl was crying and I was like, "Look, just get away, I've got my baby with me."
So when did this happen?
Just 5 minutes ago. 5-10 minutes ago when I was on the way to shop.
Well, what do you want me to do today then?
Well, I don't think it's fair that she can have a go at people and intimidate people, make them feel scared.
I'll go across and speak to her and tell her it's got to stop. What you and your neighbours need to do is all your neighbours need to get together with the council and they all need to report for everything. So if they breathe at the wrong time, council need to know. They'll demote the tenancy and they'll get rid of them. And they're quite good at doing it.
The threat of eviction is a very real incentive for tenants to stay out of trouble.
We'll go across and speak. We'll come back in a minute and have words with you.
After the girl's blow-by-blow account, it's time for Nick and Lucy to hear the other side of the story. If they can get somebody to answer the door. Nick's patience is wearing thin.
Sorry.
I'm going to say I'm knocking on the door, nobody's there, so I've got a bit... Is it a...
Yeah.
Can we come in and have a word with you?
Yeah. I ain't got to go. I've had a bit of running with them across there on a time ago, but they're blaming me for bringing social services up.
Yeah, I appreciate all that.
But
yeah.
the thing is, I am.
Oh, that's all right.
I'll go back and
I'll go back and tell them you am.
The neighbour is adamant she's done nothing wrong. All Nick can do is warn both households to keep out of each other's way.
The housing manager.
Ignore them. As far as you're concerned, just ignore them.
Just ask adjutants.
Just ignore them. Today, it stops.
See you later.
We've gone across there. It's tit for tat, tittle-tattling and having a go at each other. They're never going to get on with each other in a month of Sundays. We're never going to resolve it in 5 minutes. We've told her to back off and leave it out. We're going to tell her to do the same and just reassure who lives here that there isn't any problem between them. So we'll just go and see how that goes. I've told her it's got to stop now. As of today, whatever's been going on stops.
Yeah.
Full stop.
Nick's just about got the case wrapped up, but all of a sudden, there's a problem.
Because I'm
You sat on my cat.
Get up. Have you killed it? Where is it?
I can hear it.
I can hear it meowing.
I can hear it.
Is she underneath the sofa or the chair?
I don't know.
You think I've crushed her?
I think you might have.
Oh God. I've killed her. Get down. Sorry.
The cat was underneath the sofa and has just about escaped being crushed. Luckily, she's still got a few lives left.
I thought you sat on the cat, I thought. I didn't feel anything. The earth didn't move for me.
It's all right.
I've told her it's got to stop.
Now, there's another problem.
Oh no.
So, from right, have you just rubbed your eyebrow off?
Yeah.
Can you make sure that from now onwards, just ignore if she says hello pleasantly, just say hi back pleasantly.
Yeah.
Otherwise, as far as you're concerned, she doesn't exist. Ignore her. Just keep it quiet and see if we can calm things down. Hello, flat cat.
We've still got a cat. I know. I can't believe you sat on
the
cat.
You sat on it as well. Come on then, we're gonna go. I'm gonna get snuggled in bed.
I'm not. I'm going to find the cat and check it properly.
No criminal offence has taken place, so there's no action for Nick to take. But he will monitor the situation in the future. Earlier, officers attended a fire at a house in Bridlington.
All right, don't worry.
firefighters rescued 2 people from an upstairs flat, but thankfully no one was seriously injured. It's the morning after the night before, and PCSO Liam Whittington is in charge of keeping the scene secure for fire investigators and letting local people know what's happened.
It also gives us a chance for local residents in an area who may not be aware of an incident that's taken place, so they can come and ask questions. Sometimes it can be very limited answers that we can give, but at least we can alert people why we're in the area to try and give them some reassurance as well.
It isn't thought that the fire was started deliberately, but fire investigators and police crime scene officers are sifting through the ashes to see if they can find any clues. While the investigators do their work, Liam entertains a group of curious children.
Bit of a play area really, isn't it? You know, something like this, it attracts them, so I think it's important just so that we make sure we give these guys a service, that we hold a vigil.
The investigators think a computer may have been the source of the blaze, so they're taking it in for a proper examination. Once the fire investigators are finished, Chris, the former occupant of the room, is allowed in. It's the first time he's seen the damage in daylight.
Well, I'm glad that I was out. I'm really glad that those upstairs were got out by the fire service, who seemed very, very prompt and efficient on the matter. Emotionally, I think this room is a fairly good reflection of how I feel.
He thinks that a device was plugged into his computer, caught on fire and set the blaze off.
The battery overheated, fired out, which would have landed here, because that's where my computer was approximately. And that would have caught onto the bed, which was a plastic bed, which sent the fire sort of coming that way, because there's a drawer of the chimney there, which would have brought the flames that way.
Remarkably, some precious things have survived. Puppeteer Chris will be able to carry on working.
Yeah, this is Mr. Punch. Hello, boys and girls. Judy, she needs her hat back on. It's a bit smoky round here, isn't it, boys and girls? I've still got a working puppet show, and that's good.
When they completed their examination of the fire scene, the investigators concluded that the cause was an accidental ignition by unknown means.
The war against crime is a relentless challenge, but it's one the neighbourhood policing teams have risen to and can proudly say they've had a major impact on. Join us again next time.